guys see my screen? Can you see it? Okay, awesome. So yeah, today's presentation is about the future is solar. And some of you probably haven't realized how solar is taking a big portion in the market nowadays. So I want you to look at this presentation, not from the selling solar point of view, but from the how this business work and how can I be related to this industry. And this is what I wanted to bring for you today. So I'm gonna go ahead and explain to you the agenda that I have. I know we don't have that many or that much time, but I'm gonna try to cover as much as possible regarding these 5 topics that I believe are gonna be super important for you. And for those who know me, you guys know I'm a researcher, I'm a reader. Part of my routine is, going exercising about 2 miles, running every day, and then reading for about an hour and a half. So I believe I tried that my love language, if I must say, when it comes to business and partnerships and networking with groups, is sharing my knowledge, sharing the those pieces that I believe are going to be super fundamental for you. That probably took me hours of reading or hours of researching, and that's what I wanted to talk about. So if we want to focus on the future, I'm going to touch base with the solar real estate. I'm going to go over some of the mortgages and financing in solar. Also, some little topics about insurance and how home inspections have been changed, how the transportation or the Electrification Act is affecting the solar transportation, and then how we have new development in solar apps, and then a little bit about our business model and how we're orienting our business in terms of solar ambassadors and the solar power igniters group, which we have today. All right, so if you are ready, take notes. Please interrupt me at any time if you have questions, if you want to say something, because I know I'm going to hit some of the topics that you may want to interact. All right, so I'm going to start with the future of real estate. And the reason why I want to start with this is because I visit the EXP Con 2022 in Vegas about 2 weeks ago. We have over 8,000 real estate agents, and we were able to talk in one of our masterminds with one of the top producers of EXP nationwide. And they didn't realize, or a lot of real estate agents have 2 points of view when it comes to solar. They either share the vision of solar taking over the market, or they just see solar as a pain point, because when you have a listing in with solar panels, is going to be more difficult to handle, or you don't know how to handle, you don't know the topics, you don't know the language of solar. So what I wanted to start sharing is that the National Association of Realtors have a list of realtors that are actually named the Green Directory for real estate agents that are certified by something called the Green Designation for the National Association of Realtors, which means that basically this is a real estate agent that understands the value of renewable energy, sustainability, and energy efficiency, and that when you're trying to sell your house with solar panels, is going to add the value that really is going to be perceived by the new buyer. Same thing when you are buying or shopping around for a house. Let's say you're planning to buy a house in the next few years. This is a trend. You don't want to just hire a real estate agent. You want to hire a sustainable realtor. You want to hire a real estate agent that is certified or an agreed designation, and you can just go to the Real Estate Association and go to Green Directory and look at those realtors. There is almost literally like 15 realtors right now in Central Florida, and I partnered up with all of them because they believe in the vision that we have for Central Florida and some of the real estate agents in different states that we're working on. So this is something that you want to take advantage and take a look at. Interest in solar is literally on the rise. The National Association of Realtors and Sustainability report showed that 65% of responders say promoting energy efficiency in listings was valuable. 36% reporting that their multiple listing service had a great data field. So what you feel and what you see in Zillow is the energy efficiency indicators or the sun exposure rates. And you can start filtering listings, and you will be shopping houses for the amount of exposure that they have on the sun, because if you have a good exposure roof, you will have a less expensive bill, because when you install solar, then it's going to make more sense when you are making the whole mathematics around that listing or around that new house. Also, we have, according to the National Renewable Energy Laboratory, a study that shows that homes that actually get sold with solar panels, they sold 20% faster, between 4 to 6% for more value. So solar is not about only, oh, I'm paying this month electric bill and now you're saving this much. It's also about the long run. Most of the solar loans in solar, they have a lower interest rate. I'm going to talk about that later in the mortgage side. But the important thing here is that showing that the data from the U.S. Energy Department and the Department of Housing and Development is showing that this is real. It's going to be sell faster because people is looking for houses that are less problematic because they don't have to pay like high electric bills and it's already energy efficient, but also more sustainable. So that's a little abstract from the data, but I just want to show you how big is this opportunity. And when you see these numbers, I want you to take a look at the solar industry as a baby. You know, we have so many different industries. We have insurance for years developing, and we have, I don't know, lawyers. There is different professions that they've been in the market for longer. Solar has been in the market for, like I said, like 25 years. It's been maturing for over the last 8 years. So I believe my transition from Colombia to United States, switching to sustainability, was just perfect because at the same time that I was involved in solar and renewable energy, the industry was growing so fast. So if you are an accountant, if you have services for businesses, if you are a commercial real estate agent, take a look at this type of companies, because I remember back in the days when I was working in solar 6 years ago, there were like 85 solar companies in Central Florida. Now we have over 1,500. So it's growing, not in Central Florida, but in Florida in general. So this industry, you have to take a look at this industry. I'm pretty sure some of you already have clients in the solar industry. So just to give you a little perspective of how big is the solar opportunity, there is 130 million homes in the United States, but only 90 million are eligible for solar. So there is some houses, they have not south-facing roof orientation, or they just are not eligible for solar because they're apartments, or people live in different type of homes that are not feasible or eligible for solar. Some of the real estate projects are only for renters, so you're not the homeowner, things like that. So we only have 90 million eligible homes for solar, but only 3.5 million have gone solar. It looks like a huge number, 3.5 million homes going solar, but it's only 4% of the whole market. So if we take a look at the whole country, we have 30% of California going solar, 3% of Texas going solar, and only 1% of Florida going solar. It's only 1%, but when you drive around, you see a lot of houses with solar panels. It's only 1%. So it's going to get bigger, and it's going to be more relevant to any transaction in the real estate and in companies. So what we have left is 87 million eligible homes. So this industry is nothing but Japanese train floating on magnets going at 180 miles per hour, because the fact is that in 2021, someone went solar every single minute. And if you see the forecast in 2023, you're going to have one homeowner going solar every second. So this is an industry you have to take a look at. And it's an industry that is evolving super, super fast. And me personally, I love the research. I love to educate people. And that's why I'm positioning myself inside this organization as a mentor and as a trainer. So that's it for the real estate market. I would like to move forward with the future of mortgages. So when it comes to mortgages, according to Fannie Mae, 7 out of 10 mortgage companies will incorporate solar as a new vertical. This is huge. This is 70%. You have different mortgage companies focusing on different verticals. But if this is the statistics by Fannie Mae, it seems we're going to have different type of products. And we already have different ways to generate energy efficiency and solar. We have, for example, green mortgages. We have FHA's energy efficiency mortgages, or what is called also an EEM loan, that allows you to get solar, purchase renewable energy, and refinance your home at the same time. You also have VA's energy efficiency mortgage. And how it works is that this program is designed for veterans. So Mike, I know you're a veteran and I know you can take advantage of this. So if you'll be looking for solar, but you don't know what is the best product, just look for a mortgage company that has VA's energy efficiency mortgages, and you definitely will be able to bundle those things. And you also have conventional energy efficiency mortgages. This is very unique. Not all the companies have this in Florida, but this is just a trend. If you are not a mortgage company that is incorporating solar or renewable energy, and you don't have a partner in the solar area space, you will be losing a lot of opportunities. And what does a green mortgage pay for? It pays for your Energy Star appliances. It pays for your insulation in the attic. I have done some of the insulation attics for some of the members in this group. Also, water energy efficiency, solar water pool heatings, upgrading high performance energy efficiency furnace and air conditioning. I've been partnered up with Mr. AC of Orlando, making energy efficiency loans, bundling air conditioning products with solar energy, and also batteries. So this is happening, and this is in the market already. So take a look at those things. Let's move forward with the future of insurance and home inspections. Some of you probably don't know, but in the insurance market field, and I don't know if it's Gus here, but I work a lot with Gus Villeta in this matter. As you know, Gus is a broker, and every time, I have all my houses insurance with Gus. He's a very, very knowledgeable insurance person, and the insurance market right now is being hit by so many war variables, including the war in Ukraine, including the logistics and the hurricanes, that only 3 insurance companies right now have probably 95% of the policies in Florida. And what we have seen is that insurance companies are getting tougher to cover many of the claims, including hurricane claims and roofing claims. When it comes to solar, this is not the reality. When it comes to solar, this is the fact. It's all about the risk. So if you have a house and you have an insurance policy and you have a liability coverage based on the risk study for that specific house, and you add solar into that house, you're lowering the risk of that house, because most of the roofs in Florida are made of shingles, and they don't have iron rich or iron structures or prism glass on the roof to protect from storms. If you're interested about this topic, I will send you an article that we wrote down about solar and hurricanes, and how we add layers of protection for your house, and how houses that actually have solar in Puerto Rico, for those who are from Puerto Rico, if you take a drone after Hurricane Irma and you take a look at the roofs, the only roofs that actually were destroyed by Hurricane Irma were the roofs that actually have solar panels. And I know this by a fact, because my father is a civil engineer, my mom is an architecture. And when we were building houses and when we were building roofs, you need this structural on iron that is attached to the rails of your roof, that is providing an additional layer of protection and support for anything, for wind, for trees falling down. So it's a very interesting thing. So it's all about the risk. The only thing that I would like to recommend you, depending on the size of your system, there is something called the 1 million liability policy, depending on how big is your system. Right now, most of the utility companies, when you're connecting your solar system to the grid, if it's more than 11.6, they will require $1 million liability policy. And this is because when you have a huge, expensive system, or a big energy production system in your roof, and you are connecting that system to the expensive grid, the utility company needs to cover from any potential risk, right? And this is kind of understandable, because at the very end, if you have a liability policy in your house for $500,000, like most of the houses have, and they require $1 million liability, having that $1 million liability by the insurance company normally doesn't cost you any additional money. 70% of the cases, when I have my customers on the phone and you mention, oh, you need $1 million liability policy, sounds scary, right? It's like, I don't have that coverage, forget it. I'm not going solar. But 70% of the cases, you don't need to pay any additional when you request that liability. Why? Because it's all about the risks. You haven't changed anything in your house that is potentially making the house more risky for insurance and for claims. So that's something that I wanted to bring into the table. I don't know if that's one of the reasons, some of you haven't gone solar, but it's all about knowledge and about understanding how this works. The bad news is that right now that's the like the edge, the 11.6, but utility companies understood that A lot of homeowners are going solar. We have a back, they have a lack of personnel processing solar permittings and solar interconnection or interconnections with the utility companies, because there is a huge volume of requests of people going solar. So what they realize is we're going to lower the legislation under 9 kW systems in the near future, so that they don't have that many people requesting these interconnections, because a lot of people, they don't want to have that minimum liability policy. So some things are happening, and this just gives us a side or a huge sign of, if you're going solar right now, is the best moment to do it. Right now we have the best, how you say it, conditions, financially, insurance, on the market, on the cost for you to go solar. Later in the future, it's going to be more expensive, or it's going to be harder to get approved by the utility company, because they will have a cap on homes going solar on the distribution policies. Let's say you have a power plant by Duke Energy, and they're providing the energy for 1,000 homes, and then you have already 100 homes going solar, and you have the second wave of 200 homes going solar. It's going to get less convenient for those 200 house to actually get access to solar. So I will say, don't think about it. I mean, think about it, but think it as an opportunity, and understand how the legislation is going. And I know this by fact, because I have people that I know inside those companies, and they're not happy. You know, Duke Energy, OUC, FPL, Kissimmee Utility Authority, Winter Park Utility, they don't want anybody go solar, because you are the perfect client. You are the client that doesn't complain, that pays the bills every month, and that will never go away because it's a monopoly, right? So just think about that and take control over your expense and switch to solar. Some of the new the futures in insurance and home inspections, I want to point the solar insurance. I've been doing solar insurance for almost 4 years already. I stopped doing solar insure. This is a product that it's already old, but I just realized I never shared this with you guys. Every time a homeowner goes solar with Clever Energy, we provide a certificate of insurance for 30 years that covers leaking, roof penetration, no deductible, covers everything regarding the solar system for 30 years. I stopped doing this type of product, solar insure, and I started doing something called Power Care, just because we're processing everything through our partnership with Power. But what I wanted to say is there is resources. There is resources for you to cover, and there is insurance that is being developed just for the solar business. And just think about the ticket price. You know, an average system in solar is $40,000. So after your home purchase and probably your car purchase, the next monthly expense that is going to be higher after food, after your after your car payment and your mortgage payment, is going to be your utility bill. So just take control over that. And the market has been evolving a lot, so you have a lot of options here when it comes to insurance. When it comes to home inspection and getting back to the real estate listings and buying and selling and how I'm going to recover the value of my house, there is tools called inspections for it's called solar I don't know how to say in English. It's like evaluaciones de los sistemas solares, like an appreciation and an appraisal. That's the word I was looking. A solar appraisal tool that a lot of the home inspector are starting to incorporate it in the home inspections and home valuation of the systems, like PV value. So when you have tools like PV value, you will be able to see exactly what is the cost of your solar system, how much is being producing, what is the overall price after 1 or 2 years of usage. So if you're planning to have your house for only the next 5 years and you want to sell the house with solar, you have the right tools to actually make a valuation of that system and get the most of your solar system. All right. Let me see if I have conversations here in the chat. Okay, good. What is the future of transportation? And this is something that is a passion for me, guys. I'm a car lover. I spend hours following electric cars, vehicles, hours talking about what is the future of energy storage, because battery backups are a thing of the future also. But I have a few questions that I would like to ask you. If you don't know the answers to these questions, you have to do your due diligence and you have to answer these questions. And the questions are these ones. how many miles do you drive per year? On average. We know it's normally like 15 to 25,000 miles. In Florida, some states they have larger ranges. So just to write down how many miles you drive a year, and then also what is the cost per mile per gallon. Some of you have, I don't know. I used to have a Toyota Prius that was making like $16 for 10 gallons. So it was like literally like I don't know, like $50 50 cents per gallon. So it's like how efficient is the car that you're driving? This is the question, because you need to answer what is the cost per mile in terms of your transportation. What is the car that you have? Are you planning to change your car? Cars like the one that Fina drives, the Toyota RAV4, and the one that I drive, they're like 40 miles per gallon. You know what I mean? 45, so they're more efficient. So think about those things and answer your own questions. How many miles per kilowatt hour? And this is a question for people who already have electric vehicles, like Goose, for example. When you are talking about energy, you need to understand the kilowatt hour concept, which means how much energy is the car using to drive those miles. Some of those cars use I don't know, 500 miles every 2,000 kilowatt hours, and those questions are very important to estimate what is the cost per kilowatt hour. So when it comes to transportation, the whole conversation was, okay, what is my cost? I mean, my dollar cost per gallon, so that I can drive X amount of miles. Now the conversation is, what is the cost that I'm having per kilowatt hour, so that I can drive the same amount of miles. And when it comes to the cost per kilowatt, there is a huge difference between the cost that you're paying when you're tied to the utility bill versus the cost that you're paying when you have your own solar system. So just think about how much money you invest in transportation, in gas, in your car payments. All these numbers will be very relevant when you are making the decision to move forward with solar. Because if you have solar energy, you just have a farm, a source of cost per kilowatt hour that is lower than any other source. And I would like to share, and the reason why I'm doing this, I would like to share in the group, in the WhatsApp group, the article that we wrote down about this topic, because you need to understand what is the cost per kilowatt hour that you're getting with solar. When you understand the cost per kilowatt hour that you're getting with your solar system, you not only would like to have solar panels, but you would like to buy an electric vehicle right away, right? Electric vehicles are not for everybody. People like me, we are all over the place all day long, entrepreneurs. I drive, I don't know, I put like 165,000 miles in my car in only 3 years. So it's like, it all depends what is your need. But if you're commuting from your house to your work and back and forth, an electric vehicle will be good. But where are you charging your electric vehicle? If you charge your electric vehicle in a charging station, it will cost you probably 29 cents per kilowatt hour. If you charge your electric vehicle at home, it will cost you the cost that you're paying right now for your electricity, which is 14 cents per kilowatt hour. But if you charge your car with solar panels, it will cost you only 4 cents per kilowatt hour. So it's almost 1/4 of the cost for every mile that you're driving. And this is huge. So let me go ahead and share that article. This is the document that I was talking about. We did a market analysis for solar energy and electric vehicles, and I believe this is going to be very, very important for you guys, for just educate yourselves and read about it. So I'm just going to go ahead and share this on the WhatsApp group, so that you can read it later today, or share it with anybody. I believe it's very good for especially men that are passionate about cars, or if you're considering buying an electric vehicle, just read that all. We have a very, very deep understanding in this specific article about not only solar, how is the market growing, but also how much energy will a vehicle use, and how many people is getting battery and energy storage in house, so that they can power the vehicle with the energy that they store in the battery backup. So as you can see here in this graphic, when we ask people why are consumers interested in storaging energy or having battery backup systems, most of the people say because they need backup power, but also because they would like to have savings on utility rates. So this is very, very important, and there is different brands that you can use. We also do Tesla Powerwalls, Generac. We also do Enphase storage, solar edge storage. So we're the experts on this matter. But the only graphic that I would like to focus on today is this graphic. Look at the EV sales taking over the gas car sales by 2038. So we are right here in 2022. We're just starting to see all these electric vehicles putting out of the market and making the cost of electrification and the cost of manufacturing those electric vehicles less expensive, but also the cost of cars and the amount of cars that we're getting from gas are going to get more expensive, because if we manufacture less gas cars, then manufacture few cars is going to be more expensive. So not only a regular gas cars will get more expensive, but people will not be more interested into those cars because it doesn't make sense. People will have solar panels, people will have energy storage, and it's just amazing. This is just the EV sales for 2011 to 2019. As you can see, some states are leading the electrification of transportation, like California and New York. Okay, another thing that I would like to share with you guys is how is the infrastructure when it comes to transportation. There is different ways that you can charge your car. You can charge your car in something that is called the fast charging. Most of the electric vehicle charging stations in Central Florida, in Orlando. I am one of the partners from Nova Charge. Nova Charge is the biggest electric vehicle charging station installer in Central Florida, and we are dealers for Nova Charge. I have never shared this with you guys. So I'm all into this topic because I want to become the expert on this matter. If I have you as a client, and like Goose, if you have an electric vehicle and you want to have energy storage, and if you want to have solar panels, I want you to provide the right, accurate information. There is also fast and slow public charging, and then the majority of the people will charge their vehicles at home with a slow charging because it's less expensive and it extends the life usage of your battery. So this article is very, very complete. Just read over it. We also have some metrics that will allow you to have an idea of, okay, depending on the type of car that you have, if you have a Tesla or an SUV or a truck, how many miles per kilowatt hour you will have, and what will be the implication in your cost of transportation. So that's something that I wanted to share. Now let's move forward with the future of solar. I don't know how much time do we have. I think I have to wrap up. The future of solar is apps. The future of, I may have to change this topic, is the future of utilities. It's apps. As you log into your Duke portal, you will have your app with the solar provider that you choose. Hopefully it's Clever Energy. And then you will see how much energy you're producing, how much energy your house is consuming, how much energy you're providing to the grid. We will have microgrids. So it's very important that you understand that your solar system, it's enabled for microgrids futures. And by microgrids, we mean we will have neighborhoods with solar energy that will be redundant, sharing energy between them. If you have a solar system that is failing, then you have your neighbors providing the energy, and there is a huge conversation when it comes to microgrids. But anyways, and then you have also, if you have your electric vehicle charging station, how much energy are you using for charging your vehicle? So this is some of the apps and the features that you will be able to see. Nowadays, we don't talk about these things. We don't check the only energy that we check every day is our phone energy percentage charging level. Then in the future, we will check more other things, how much energy we have at home and things like that. All right. I haven't shared this with many of you. If you see me as your solar expert, if you see me as the person with the knowledge and the authority to talk about these topics, I also have an ambassador program. Some of you, I believe half of you are already in my ambassador program. Thank you so much for joining me. We have, it's completely free. You don't have to pay anything. I pay $1,000 for every referral. So if you have a person that is interested in solar, I'm not going to scam them. I'm going to go ahead and, do the appointment, do the presentation myself or my team, and make sure they have an accurate estimate. The referrals, you will have access to the platform. The referrals will go directly to me, your consultant, and then for every customer that have gone solar, that person will also refers. So if you already have solar panels or are planning to have solar panels, but you don't know how to pay for your solar system, this is a great opportunity. If you're a connector, if you're a networker, and you know how to introduce me people, this is a really good way for you to get your solar system and then start referring to me so that you can pay off your system sooner. I wanted to share here that 70%, no, 50% of the clients that actually finance solar, they, even though the financing is 25 years with a 2.99% APR, they pay the system in average in 7 years. So even though the loan is 25 years with a lower monthly payment, they pay off the system in 7 years on average, pay off the loan, which means that they are free from the energy expense sooner than what we expected. So this is a big information, piece of information. All right, I'm going to be starting wrapping up. We just have 4 more minutes. I'm going to share a little bit about this new initiative that we start with my wife. It's called the Solar Power Igniters. With Power Igniters, what we are doing is we're leveraging our 7 years of experience in the solar marketplace, and we are helping other solar professionals who share the same desire of living the world with helping families save money and reduce their CO2 emissions, and they're just passionate about this industry, but also generate income with purpose. Because when we create income with purpose, and when you're doing contributions to Pachamama Alliance, and you're helping, cleaning the Amazon rainforest, and planting trees in the Africa, or I don't know, building schools with solar panels in Mexico, that's very huge. So if you know somebody that would like to join us, or if you would like to join, this group of professionals, you're more than welcome to do it. The future is solar. I hope I explained this topic very well to you. And I would like to correct the title, because really the future is not solar. The present is solar. It's not the future. It's already here. It's already in our houses. It's already all around us. It's impacting, real estate. It's impacting mortgages. It's impacting home inspections. It's impacting transportation. So it's not the future. It's the present. For those who don't follow me, I believe the best channel is Instagram. My Instagram is Diego Garcia Muris. You can see my business, Go Clever Energy. I'm also an ambassador for the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. I'm the mentor of Power Igniters. You can see all the content there in Power Igniters. So just follow me, send me a message, and I'm constantly posting stories about the topics, about the articles that I wrote down, and the information that I believe is going to be very valuable for you. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope I give you some, good nuggets.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Diego. Round of applause, virtual applause. All right, Diego, would you like me to stop recording at this moment?
Yes, please. Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
let me